Hello everyone, I'll be quick. Before we start, please subscribe for a future story. It'll sure make my day. Enjoy! AITA for not telling my uncles we won't inherit anything? I already know I'm gonna catch hell for this, but whatever. Here it goes. My grandma and I were close. Closer than she was with my dad or either of my uncles. She wasn't the warm, cookie-baking type, but she loved horror novels. That was our thing. She'd give me money to pick out a couple of good ones, and I'd read to her twice a week. She liked the really gruesome ones, the kind that made me question if she had a little serial killer energy in her. During one of our last reading sessions, she told me she was leaving all her money to charities, every last cent. Except for a college fund for my cousin because, and I quote, Henry lost his damn mind betting on a YouTuber. My Uncle Henry, absolute genius that he is, gambled away most of his savings betting on Mike Tyson. Problem was, Jake Paul won, and Henry was left scrambling. Grandma figured my cousin deserved a chance at a future, so she made sure there was a fund just for her. She made me promise not to tell anyone, so I didn't. Then she passed, and the will was read. My dad didn't seem surprised. He just nodded like it all made sense. Uncle Henry looked relieved that at least his daughter had something. But Uncle John, he fucking lost it. Are you serious? Nothing? Not a single cent? The lawyer barely got out a "that's correct" before Uncle John was out of his chair, pacing like a lunatic. She's our mother. She's supposed to leave something for her children. What kind of bullshit is this? She was always like this, giving away things to people who needed it more. Oh, fuck off, she was not. She always told me we were her top priority, and now I get nothing? Henry, who for once wasn't the biggest idiot in the room, said, well, maybe you should have been around more. Don't start with that. And then the moment I'd been dreading. Did you know about this? John's eyes landed on me. I should have lied, should have said I had no clue, but I hesitated for half a second too long. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You knew? Hold on. You knew about this and you didn't say anything? You let me sit there thinking we had an inheritance just to embarrass me like this? It wasn't my place, I said. Wasn't your place? Are you fucking kidding me? You let us walk into this blind? Enough. No, not enough. This little shit knew our mother was screwing us over and kept it to himself. Well, at least his conscience is clean, unlike yours. John turned so fast I thought he was going to punch him. What the hell does that mean? It means, Henry said, that maybe she left you out for a reason. Silence. Then John pointed a finger at me. You had no right to keep that from us. No right. And with that, he stormed out. I don't think I did anything wrong, but maybe I should have warned them. Maybe then John wouldn't be so pissed. So am I really the asshole here? John's still mad. And when John's mad, he doesn't just sit with it. He makes sure everyone knows about it. I found that out when I went to my aunt's house for dinner. I barely got a foot inside before she pulled me aside. You really kept that from your uncles? Are you serious? John told you? He told everyone. Jesus Christ. I don't blame you, but you should have said something. Maybe then it wouldn't have been so humiliating for him. Oh yeah, because he would have taken it so well if I told him last week instead of at the reading. It's just messy, okay? Everyone's talking about it. No one would be talking about it if John would shut up for 2 goddamn seconds. Speak of the devil. John walked in, saw me, and laughed. Oh, look. It's the little secret keeper. I ignored him. I was too hungry to deal with his shit. Hey, I'm talking to you. And I'm ignoring you as you can see. Yeah, you ignored us when it actually mattered too. Oh my God, get over it. Get over it? You don't think you did anything wrong? I didn't do anything. You hearing this? Guys, please, let's just eat. So what, you thought it was funny? Sitting there all smug while we found out our own mother thought we weren't worth a dime? You think this is about you? She didn't even tell me at first. I had to ask. And you know what she said? That she didn't trust you. That if she gave you money, you'd blow it. That you only showed up when you needed something and she was fucking tired of it. His face went red. I kept going. You want to be mad? Fine. But don't act like this is some big shock. You were a shit son and you got what you deserved. I barely got the last word out before he lunged. Dad and Henry were there in a second, dragging him back. I stepped back, my hands up. You don't want to do that, man, Henry said. John shook them off. Yeah, I do. Aunt was already on her feet. Both of you, get out. Me? What the hell did I do? Just go. I wanted to argue, but honestly, fuck it. I wasn't going to sit through a dinner where everyone was pretending not to look at me like I was some traitor. Dad left with me. The car ride home was quiet. When we pulled up, he finally spoke. You didn't deserve that. Tell that to everyone else. John's an asshole, always has been, but he's got an ego, and you just kicked it in the teeth. He deserved it. Maybe. But don't expect him to forgive you for it. I didn't. But I also didn't expect him to take it to the next level. I stayed in my room in the morning just waiting for my phone to blow up. Sure enough, by noon, I had about 5 missed calls from my aunt, a few texts from Henry, and a couple of messages from cousins I barely even talked to. I wasn't going to deal with it, not yet. I went to the kitchen, made myself a sandwich, and sat at the table. Dad walked in, looked at my phone lighting up next to me, and just shook his head. He's not gonna let it go, Dad said. Yeah, no shit. You talked to him? Nope. I swear to God, he acts like we all owe him something. I chewed, not saying anything. He ever tell you what he did with all the money Grandma gave him over the years? She gave him money? Oh, plenty. Every time he got into some shit, he ran straight to her, and she bailed him out. Over and over. She never told you? No. She wouldn't. She was embarrassed by it. So what, you think she finally just got tired of handing him money? Looks that way. We sat in silence for a second. Then a car pulled up outside. I peeked out the window. Shit. John. Dad followed my gaze, sighed, then got up and walked straight to the door before John even knocked. The second the door opened, John shoved his way in. We're gonna talk, he said. No, we're not. John pushed past him anyway, walking right into the kitchen like he owned the place. I leaned against the counter, sandwich still in hand. You're really doing this right now? You should have said something. We've been over this. No, you ignored it. You don't get to decide what we talk about. John, enough, Dad said. No, not enough. You think you're better than us? You think you're so smart keeping secrets? What do you want, John? You're hiding something. Oh my God. Get out. She gave you something. She didn't. Bullshit. You want to check my room? Go ahead. You want to search the whole house? Be my guest. But when you don't find a goddamn thing, you better apologize. John looked at me. Then, to my absolute shock, he turned and walked down the hall. Are you serious? I called after him. I followed, Dad right behind me, but by the time we reached my bedroom door, John was already inside, throwing my dresser drawers open. Oh, you've lost your fucking mind. John dug through my clothes, flipping through my shirts like he expected to find stacks of cash hidden underneath. Dad grabbed his arm. That's enough. John pulled away and moved to my desk, yanking open every drawer. This is insane, I said. John ignored me, now pulling my bed covers back, checking under my pillows, shoving my mattress like he thought I had a secret stash hidden underneath. Dad grabbed him again, harder this time. I said enough. John finally stopped. He looked around like he expected to see an envelope full of money magically appear out of nowhere. Then he turned back to me. Where is it? Holy shit, there is nothing. I don't believe you. John, leave. I'm not done. Yes, you are. John looked around one last time, then said, This isn't over. And he walked out. The second the front door closed, I sat on my bed, running a hand down my face. Dad sat next to me. You all right? I grabbed my sandwich from my plate. I'm finishing my lunch. Unbelievable. He's actually insane. Yeah, and I think it's about to get worse. And he was right. By the next morning, John had made sure half the family thought I was some kind of criminal mastermind sitting on stacks of Grandma's money. I woke up to 10 missed calls, 5 voicemails, and at least a dozen texts. Henry, my aunt, a couple of cousins, even some distant relatives I hadn't seen in years. I didn't answer a single one. Dad sat across from me at breakfast, scrolling through his phone. You're trending in the family group chat. Great. Henry's trying to defend you. Oh, that's gotta be a disaster. Dad read out loud. You guys really think Danny is that smart? He can barely tie his own shoes. Wow, thanks, Henry. Dad kept reading. If Grandma gave him money, he would have spent it on dumb shit already. He wouldn't have the patience to hide it. Why does his defense make me sound like an idiot? Because Henry's an idiot. My phone buzzed again. If I ignore them long enough, will they go away? Doubt it. You might want to say something before John convinces them you've got a secret vault hidden in the backyard. He'd have to actually dig for that. Wouldn't put it past him. Fine, let's go end this. We drove over to Aunt's house, where apparently the family had gathered to discuss me. When we pulled up, I could already hear voices through the open window. I don't know, someone was saying. Why wouldn't she leave him something? Oh, come on, another voice said. She was closer to him than anyone. If she left him something, he would have said so. Dad and I walked inside without knocking. John was standing in the middle of the living room. Henry was on the couch looking like he wanted to be anywhere else. A few cousins and aunts were scattered around talking in low voices. The second I stepped in, the room got quiet. John turned to me. Finally decided to show up? I ignored him and looked at Aunt. Did you really invite everyone here for this? We just want to clear things up. Clear what up? There's nothing to clear up, John said. Right, because you just happened to be the one person she told, and she just happened to leave you nothing. She left Henry's daughter money, dumbass. She didn't know about that either. What's your point? My point is that you're lying. Henry spoke up. Dude, if he had anything, don't you think he would have bought something stupid by now? You really trust him? I trust that he's too dumb to keep a secret this long. You guys are unbelievable. I mean, it is weird. You don't even talk to me. How would you know what's weird for me? She looked away. John took a step closer. Just tell the truth. The truth? Fine. Grandma didn't trust you. She thought you'd blow it. She didn't want to give you shit, and she definitely didn't want you coming after me for answers. John's face turned red. You want the real reason she left you out? Because you're selfish. Because you only came around when you needed something. Because every time she did give you money, you wasted it and came back asking for more. She was done with that. John's jaw clenched. Aunt cleared her throat. I think we should all calm down. Oh, now we should calm down? You invited a whole audience for this shit. We just wanted to get to the bottom of it. Well, you did. And I hope you all feel stupid. All right, I think we're done here. This isn't over. Jesus Christ, get over it. Dad and I walked out. In the car, I let out a breath. Think they'll drop it now? Not a chance. And he was right. The next morning, I woke up to Dad shouting from the kitchen. I didn't even get out of bed, just stared at the ceiling trying to convince myself I was still asleep. Then I heard, "A brick, John? A fucking brick?" And just like that, I was up. I ran downstairs and stopped dead in the doorway. The kitchen window was shattered, glass was everywhere, and sitting on the floor was a brick with a note tied around it. Dad was pacing, holding the note in one hand, the other clenched into a fist. I took the note and ripped it open. Liar! Thief! Show us what she left you! No way! Dad snatched the paper back. Oh, there's a way, all right. What kind of cartoon villain shit is this? I'm gonna kill him. I crouched down, picked up a piece of glass, and tossed it into the trash. This is next level psychotic. I'm going over there. Hold on. No. Dad, think for a second. I have thought and I've decided I'm gonna kick his ass. All right, let's go. We got in the car and drove straight to John's house. By the time we pulled up, Henry was already there, standing on the porch like he had been waiting for this exact moment. That was fast. Dad got out. Where is he? Hiding inside, probably knew you were coming. You already talked to him? Oh, yeah. He called me at 6 in the morning, ranting about how you were sitting on Grandma's fortune. I told him he was a dumbass and hung up. Next thing I know, I hear about the brick. Dad banged on the door. John, open the goddamn door! Nothing. Dad knocked again, harder. I swear to God. The door cracked open. John stood there looking like he had spent all night convincing himself he was the victim. Dad pushed the door open wider. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you don't? So some random asshole just threw a brick through their window with a note that sounds exactly like the shit you've been screaming about all week? I didn't do anything. You're paying for the window. No, I'm not. Dad grabbed the brick from my hands and shoved it toward him. Then I'll bill you for it. You're being dramatic. Oh, I'm dramatic? You threw a fucking brick through our window. You deserve it. Dad took a step forward. Henry immediately moved between them. All right, Henry said. Let's all be smart here. This ends now. John just looked at him. You're gonna fix the window, and then you're gonna shut the hell up about the will. Like hell I am. You're not getting a goddamn cent, John. Let it go. If I find out you were lying, then what? You'll throw a car at me next time? Henry patted John's shoulder. You lost, man. Take the L. John shoved him off. You're pathetic. You think you're better than me? No, but I'm better than this. John clenched his fists. Go ahead. Hit him. That'll definitely prove to everyone that you're the sane one. John looked at all of us, then stormed back inside and slammed the door. Dad turned to Henry. You should have let me punch him. Yeah, but this way he looks like the idiot. We left. On the way home, Dad drummed his fingers on the steering wheel. He's not gonna stop. I know. And we were right. 2 days after the brick incident, I went outside to take the trash out and saw something on our front porch. At first, I thought maybe a package got delivered, but when I got closer, I realized it was an envelope. No name, no return address. I picked it up and opened it right there on the steps. Inside was a single sheet of paper with one sentence written in sloppy handwriting. You're not fooling anyone. I laughed, out loud, right there on the porch like a lunatic. Dad walked out behind me. What's funny? I handed him the note. He read it, crumpled it up, and tossed it into the yard. That's it. I'm calling a lawyer. For what? Harassment. You think that's gonna do anything? It'll send a message. You really think John's scared of messages? No, but he might be scared of legal consequences. Or he'll just double down. Dad didn't respond. He was already dialing. I just sat there while he talked to someone about filing a restraining order. Henry called me later that day. You got another present? Yep. Jesus Christ. What was it this time? A note. Let me guess. Some cryptic bullshit? Bingo. Look, man, I don't know what you did in a past life, but you must have seriously pissed someone off. You talked to him? I tried. And? He told me to go fuck myself. Sounds about right. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. John's always been a pain in the ass, but this is different. He's obsessed. He's not gonna let it go unless something forces him to. Like what? I don't know, lawsuit, cops, divine intervention? Dad's already calling a lawyer. Good. But I wouldn't wait around for the legal system to fix this. What's that supposed to mean? Just be careful. The call ended. I sat there for a while thinking. Then I went upstairs, locked my bedroom door, and checked every corner of my room just to make sure John hadn't somehow snuck in through the vents like a fucking raccoon. That night, I woke up to something outside my window. A rustling sound. I sat up, heart pounding. It was probably nothing, just the wind. A raccoon, a stray cat. Then I heard it again. I took my baseball bat from under the bed, walked to the window, and yanked the curtain open. Nothing. I stood there, looking at the yard, holding the bat. Then I saw something move near the driveway. A shadow. A person. I banged on the window. Hey! The figure turned and ran. I ran downstairs, threw open the front door, and bolted outside. Dad ran out behind me. What the hell are you doing? Someone was out here. Who? I didn't answer. I already knew. The next morning, Dad called John, put him on speaker. Stay the fuck away from my house, Dad said. John was silent. Dad continued. You show up here again, I'm pressing charges. John finally spoke. I didn't do anything. You didn't do anything? You threw a brick through our window. You left a creepy-ass note on our porch. You were sneaking around outside in the middle of the night. You can't prove that was me. I don't have to. The whole family knows what you're doing. You've embarrassed yourself enough. Let it go. John hung up. We sat there looking at the phone. Then Dad got up, took his keys, and walked to the door. Where are you going? Finishing this. He left. I sat there checking my phone every 5 seconds, waiting for a call, a text, something. An hour passed. Then 2. Finally, Dad came back. I stood up. Well, we won't be hearing from John anymore. What did you do? Had a conversation. Don't worry about it. And that was that. John didn't call. He didn't text. He didn't show up at our house like some horror movie villain. It was over. Henry called me later that night. So what the hell did your dad say to him? No clue. Well, whatever it was, it worked. John's gone radio silent. Good. You all right? I looked around the room. The broken window had been fixed. The brick was gone. The house was quiet again. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I could actually breathe. Yeah, I said, I'm good. And for the first time, I actually meant it. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story, hit subscribe. See you in the next one.